What the fuck is up?
Hey.
Peter. What's up, big man?
Excuse me.
How we doing?
Doing well. You know, we did
Yeah.
fine yesterday. Not on Prize Picks, but that over was free. But you're the talk of the town.
Sure.
Sure.
I did what I had to do to feed myself and my family. Plain and
Floor is
simple.
yours.
Yeah. Down here
Not
in
trying
Cabo.
to host your own show, but like I kind of want to tee up.
You want to know what happened? You guys want to know the rundown? Chat? You want to know what happened?
Of course they do.
Okay.
I want to know what
Here's
happened.
what's going on. Okay. Down bad, right? It is what it is. Losing bets, losing big bets left and right. It happens. It shouldn't happen because you should never throw more than, a couple units on a play ever. Let me say that again for everyone listening. You should never throw more than a couple units ever on a play. And I want to make this perfectly clear. Now that I'm back, going back to 1 unit plays, and I'm actually cutting my units down until I prove to myself I have self-control. Anywho, let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, chat? Number one, I absolutely nuked the Mets last night. Absolutely nuked them. And here's how it went. I hit up my bookie. I said, hey, buddy, I've got the play to get me out of the hole. And, I know the guy, right? It's not like a random McGee. I've known this guy for years. This is my buddy. I know this guy. And he's like, all right, like, you want to take one more shot at this? And I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. Hit up all the boys. Hit up the baseball brains. Hit up you. Hit up Jovan. Hit up the squad. Everybody. Mets, Mets, Mets. What did we hear from the squares all day yesterday? Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. The Dodgers at that price? Such bait. Such bait. The most bait I've ever seen. Them at plus 130. I thought that was very telling. I said, you know what? I'm going to unleash the hounds. And I'm going to fire off one more big boy. One more. For the people and for me. And
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
If you lost the bet, what do you do?
Oof. If I lose the bet, I'm down my entire bankroll. And probably then some. So I do have money set aside as a bankroll, like a smart human being. I did this, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. Because I knew, just in case I tried to do any fluke shit or get cute, if I lose that, I'm fine, right? But it was getting weird, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm feeling like dropping the hammer today. I'm feeling good. Yesterday, I was feeling dangerous, and I unleashed the hounds. Now, I don't have one big slip because this was not on Caesars, which sucks. I have a bunch of mini slips. I'm happy to show a couple. I'll show this one right here. on my greasy ass phone. There's one right there. Boom. Get your magnifying glass out. Boom.
That's
There's
plenty.
one.
And
There's one.
can I just say something too? Like, even I know everyone wants the slips, but I think even if we would trust you regardless. And I think the people who wouldn't trust you if you didn't have slips, why?
Yeah, and I don't care about the people that are being slip police. I just wanted to get that out there and get it done and let people know that I'm real. I'm legit. There's two things I can be at times. Number one, maybe I get a little dumb and do some shit like that. Number two, I'm real. I'm honest. I'll tell you how it is. You know that. I'll tell you how it is always, for better or for worse. And I'm not going to lie to you. Call me honest, Abe, if you will. Call me honest crap. Okay? I don't fuck around. I don't play. I don't play. Do I crack some jokes? Sure. Do I like to have a good time? Hell yeah. I'm in fucking Cabo right now. I'm about to have the fucking week of my life.
Wow.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Looks like I'm in a fucking sauna right now. Again, trying to give the people a cool view. But it's fucking sunny as shit out and you can't see anything and it's all foggy. It's weird out there. Whatever. Who cares? Not complaining. The point I want to make here is, number one, the people who are bitching to me that I don't bet on my own games, I bet the fuck out of them. I do.
Obviously.
Number two, the people who are going to be hardos and annoying as shit and hide behind fucking burners with 3 followers, I don't give a fuck about you or your tweets. And I'm not going to fucking respond or hear them anymore. I don't give a shit. I'm not responding to fucking, I like chick 6969 who has 3 followers on Twitter saying, show me the fucking slips. I don't give a fuck about you. Tweet from me off your real fucking Twitter if you want to know shit. Number 3, I dropped the fucking hammer. The shit hit. Not smart, not cool, not bragging. I want to make that very clear. I'm not bragging here. That was dumb, but it's done. The bet hit. Shout out to Grom. Shout out fucking Brandon Nemo. Shout out the fucking trumpets. Are you kidding me? The live trumpet. Timmy Trumpet was in the fucking cribbo. Shit was a lock. It already paid as soon as I placed them. Are you kidding me?
Phenomenal.
Shit was a lock. Shit hit. We're back. That's all I'm going to say. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
I'm proud of you.
Yep.
Because one thing that you can't say about Krabs is that he's not committed. Not a lot of people can do what you do. Not a lot of people have the mental fortitude to do what you do.
That is true. A lot of people would give up. A lot of people would quit. And hey, I'm not up here to brag. I'm just telling you how it is. You can't give up. Don't ever give up.
Just my opinion on the betting side. Like, you don't see me ever throw more than 2 units on a game. Ever.
Good.
Gambling is gambling. Like, I think we have to understand that everybody loses. Everybody loses.
Every single person. Anyone who says they don't lose is a fucking fraud. And
exactly. And whether you think something is a lock or whether you're like kind of in between on it, I usually play the same amount of units regardless, because especially in baseball, like baseball almost more than any other sport, it could go either way. I always say this, there's no such thing as a lock in sports. There isn't, because that's why you love sports, right? Because there's no script. It's not a movie. That's why we love it, because you never know what's going to happen. So you could have every edge in the book, and then sometimes, like, for example, I love a play today. I have a unit on one side of it and another side of it. It's a system that I love. Been one of my most profitable all season.
Let's go.
Is it a lock? No. Should you hammer your prior bankroll? No. Do I like it a lot? Am I betting on it? Yes. There it is.
Well, what the fuck is it? You're just going to sit there and you're not going to tell us? What the fuck?
Well, it involves your hat.
Ooh. No, it does not.
It involves your hat. I'm going to tell you why.
No, it does not.
It involves your hat. It involves your hat through the first 5, and it involves your hat through the full game. I'm taking the Washington Nationals through the first 5 innings, and I'm going to be taking them on the money line. 1 unit to win 1.2 on the first 5 because it's plus 120. Sure. I'm not taking the first 5 money line. I want the first 5 spread. They're going to win through the first 5. And then I also want the full game money line. Here's the system. You fade a rookie making their debut on their first start on the road. Most recently, at least the ones I remember in the past month or two, Brian Bayo goes into Tampa Bay. How'd he do? Got crushed. Really good prospect, though, right? Red Sox fans calling him the next Pedro Martinez.
Well, he's going to be good, but let's relax.
He will be good. Agreed. But I'm saying, and then we move to Baltimore. DL Hall, nasty, right? One of the
Mm,
best pitching
mm.
prospects for the Orioles. How'd he do against the Rays?
I was on that fade with you. That's how he did.
Waldichuk is
Boom.
not as good as these two pitchers, but the Nationals are not the Rays either.
Mm,
We have Paulo Espino pitching for the Washington Nationals, and I don't
sure.
expect him to pitch that well, but the A's do not hit off-speed pitches very well. Paulo Espino throws a good amount of fastballs, but the book is clearly out on the Oakland Athletics. We saw it yesterday with Anibal Sanchez. Threw a lot of junk. Paulo Espino does throw a lot of junk. So I don't think the A's are going to hit him all that well. If we're looking at how the Nationals have performed against lefties, the A's have performed against righties since the trade deadline, and in the last 2 weeks, if you want a smaller sample, more recently, it's about even. So we have even offenses. One team's at home, one team's on the road. One pitcher is a rookie making his debut when he's not even ready coming up from AAA. He's throwing 65 innings in AAA. He's got around a 3.4-ish ERA and about a 1.3 whip. Strikes out a lot of guys, struggles with command. That's not a winning recipe. And the reason the Yankees traded him is because they were not going to use him in their equation this year. The A's are bringing him up because they don't have any other arms, and they want to see what they got. Good for the A's. Good for the A's. You want to see what you have. It's a good baseball move. But does that mean they win this game? It does not.
I mean, dude, you're preaching to the choir. I love the spot here for the Nats. I love the spot for my guy, Paulo Espino, who is pretty much identical to Anibal Sanchez, right? Soft throw and cheese thrower.
How are the Nationals favored?
I mean, we won yesterday. These teams are both fucking poverty. Let's not act like the A's are that much better than us. I like the line movement towards the Nats a smidge. And I like that especially with 60% of the bets coming in on Oakland. Plain and simple. More of the money, more of the handle is coming in on the Nats, but they're bigger bets, which sometimes is good, sometimes is eh. I like Paulo Espino to get his first win today. The boys were having a good time last night. C.J. Abrams had his best game as a Nat. Luke Voigt hit a nuke. The boys were out to play last night having a good time, and they've got nothing to lose. Now, same with the Athletics, but the Athletics are on the road here, and I'm assuming they're not going to have anything to get up for. And if this guy, like you're saying, what the fuck's his name? Waldichuk?
Ken Waldichuk. Remember, he came over in the Montes deal.
Gotcha. If he struggles with command and he's pitching his first game on the road here as a rookie, we'll be fucking seeing. Good luck. We've seen this movie before. Look at what happens with Bayo, who's got electric stuff. He'll go out there for fucking 3 innings, give up 1 home run and have 4 strikeouts, have a walk or 2, and then he'll go out there for the 4th or 5th, and he'll walk 3 straight batters. Like, he just loses it. If you don't have the command, if you're young, you're pitching on the road, good fucking luck. And I'm not saying the Nats lineup is stacked or anything, but we've been seeing the ball decent. We're home. Give me the Nats. The Nats should never be a favorite ever. If the Nats are a favorite ever, I don't care what the situation is, you take them.
That's what I was saying. And in the comments right now, I see a comment. It's like only -112 facing a rookie sounds trappy. Jay Clear 88. What I'd tell you is, wouldn't you think that this up and coming rookie on the better team should be favored against the worst team in baseball? I'm gonna think it's
Paulo Espino. Paulo Espino's 0-6 with a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah. And everyone's excited about this guy. He came over in the Montes deal. Like, are people
right?
Should the A's if the A's were favored, I would still take the Nationals. But I think that the Nationals being favored means something.
Heart. They've got it.
Heart, you can't quantify heart. I mean, I can by
the A's
X-Heart.
have negative heart. X-Heart. What does the X-Heart stat tell you here with Oakland and the Nats? The Nats have damn near 3 times as much X-Heart.
That's the only reason they have any wins. Because their X, everything else is in the first percentile, but X-Heart is in 99th.
And that's gotten them 44 wins. Sure, it has.
Without it, they'd be at 12.
I don't hate this look, honestly, from my guy Nick. And I know it's obviously not as safe of a play. I'm not saying bet on the Nats is safe ever. It's not. And like we already discussed, no bet is safe. It's fucking gambling. Grow the fuck up. I think
the first 5 over is a decent look.
Don't hate that at all.
Paulo Espino is going to pitch that well. I think he's going to pitch fine. I think we're going to see like 5 innings, 2 runs, 1 run from him. Like, fine. Won't strike out that many guys. But then on the other side, I think Waldichuk gives up 3 or 4.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Waldichuk gets bombed. Like, it's not like when we had DL Hall and he gave up 7, or Bayo when he gave up 12, it seemed like. You know, this is no lock. It's the Washington Nationals we're putting our money on here. Like, as close to a minor league lineup as there is. But at the end of the day, they're big leaguers. And big leaguers hit minor league guys who are not fully ready yet. Like, there's a reason the Yankees didn't have Waldichuk in their plans this season, but the A's do.
Hey, I count more major leaguers in the Nats lineup than I do the A's. It's close, though. It's close. We got, I mean, I guess we can count Kemp as a major leaguer because he's been around so much, but he fucking blows. Kemp, Murphy, Brown, Langoliers. That kid's going to be pretty good. There's 4. Boom.
There's 4.
Nats,
There's 4 big leaguers.
Lane Thomas, who is a great outfitter on a shitty team. Meneses, are you counting him as a big leaguer?
Yes.
I mean, that dude absolutely fucking crushes baseball.
Big leaguer.
Give the guy a fucking break. Luke Voigt, big leaguer. Nelson Cruz sucks, but he's a big leaguer. Luis Garcia, he's actually really fucking good. I think he's actually one of our best players, if not our best player on our team right now, straight up.
That's
so there's 5 right there.
But big leaguer.
Not even kidding, though. That's actually a real comment, and I actually believe it. Luis Garcia, Baby Soda. As soon as he learns how to take a pitch or take a walk, he's going to be a problem. The dude has like 2 walks all season.
You know, another guy, Jose Siri on the Rays. If Jovan ever comes in, if he ever hits the ball, he's going to be one of the best players in baseball, but he has to hit anything.
Well, he's a freak in center field. I know that.
Yeah, fast. But he just has to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big part of the game.
I'm with you. What else do you like today?
Braves buy as much as you want.
You sick pup.
Braves better.
Minus 400, Peter.
I know. Well, let me tell you how I'm going to take it.
Okay.
Brave people who've been betting on the Braves are in turmoil. They lost game 1, didn't cover the spread game 2. Nobody wants to bet on the Braves today, especially when you see that Chad Kuhl threw 6 shutout innings against the Braves. Rocky, you know, I mean, the thing is out, right? The people know that the big time favorites haven't been winning. Cheeky, right? Totals at 8 with Spencer Strider started at home when the Rockies can't hit. Worst team since the trade deadline. Worst team since the past 2 weeks against righties on the road. Who's going to be hitting then? It's going to be the Atlanta Braves, and it's going to be by a lot. I'm taking the Braves through the first 5 innings minus 1.5.
What are the odds on that, pup?
Minus 115.
Oh, it's not even plus.
Nope.
I don't hate the reasoning. I will say there's one thing that sketches me out about this series is that it gives me Brewers Pirates vibes. The Rockies, and I need to go back and find the tweet. The Rockies play Atlanta extremely well, especially in Atlanta. They play them extremely well. I don't know what it is. That's the only thing that sketches me out. It gives me Pirates Brewers vibes. We know how the Pirates play the Brewers extremely well. Although the Pirates actually win more.
Brewers won 6-1 yesterday, right?
Yes, they did. They did. Hey, good teams win, bad teams lose.
You're right. They played them well. They played them well the first 2 games of the series.
They did. They did.
I
need to find that fucking tweet, dude. I'm not going to find it. But there was a tweet I saw where, for some reason, when Colorado goes to Atlanta, they play them well. They played them well. That being said, all the reasoning you said was perfect and correct, and I agree with everything. And the Braves do probably roll today, especially after getting absolutely clowns winning that game yesterday by 1. Kenley gave up that fucking nuke. Give me a break.
Nobody wants to put their money on the Braves today. And the Braves crush sinker slider guys, and that's exactly what Chad Kuhl is going to give you. I think Chad Kuhl is one of the worst pitchers in baseball. I'll fade him till the wheels fall off. And I've seen everything from Spencer Strider that I need to see. I think he is incredibly elite. Like, you don't really get much better than that fastball and that slider. You don't really get much better.
I wouldn't say he's incredibly elite yet, but he's going to be one of the best starting pitchers in baseball at a point in time, and he's already one of the better pitchers in baseball right now. And I think fading Chad Kuhl is a great spot. Number 1, because he blows. Number 2, because he got off to that hot start in the beginning of the year where he was unbeatable. And people might still think that. They might still remember that. You hear the name Chad Kuhl. If you haven't been following baseball, watching every game, following the whole season, you might think, well, Chad Kuhl was great at the beginning of the year. Well, check out his stats over the second half of the year. He's been absolutely getting pummeled.
8.71 ERA. 8.71 ERA in July, 10.78 ERA in August so far.
Yeah, and hence why the Braves are minus 400. But
Rockies are 8-2 in Atlanta last 10. We've seen that underdogs win, at a pretty good rate at plus 300. You got to at least sprinkle on the Rockies, right?
Yeah, well, you know what my contrarian brain thinks. I agree with you. It's like if the Rockies have won, you said they've won 8 out of the last 10 games outright.
I'm reading the comments right now of people being like, you have to sprinkle on the Rockies,
I trust Capital though.
No, I know. I'm not saying that stat is wrong. I'm just saying that's the vibe now with the Braves. And it's like this matchup is one of the most lopsided matchups that there is.
Hey, Peter, we see it all the time, my man. I know a ton of people absolutely hammered the Braves last night, and I saw on Twitter last night everyone bitching. A lot of times we're a day off, and people are going to be hopping off the Braves today after that clown show. They didn't cover that 1.5 last night. Everyone's going to be hopping off them saying, fuck the Braves. They screwed me last night. Today they're going to go out there and win by 10. I love it.
Why is the total at 8?
I love it.
If Chad Kuhl's going to pitch the wall, why is the total at 8? And a Spencer Strider start at home against the Rockies.
This is why. Right here. Boom. That's why the total's at 8.
Come on over. Come on over, baby. That's my favorite total of the day.
Because the Braves are going to hit it by themselves, DeGen.
Probably. I don't have it in me. Look, I took the Brewers on the run line yesterday because I forced myself to make a play in every game, and I saw they moved 30 cents. So I will take big favorites on the run line. But it's probably the right play. I have terrible luck in the first 5, but I like your play. I'm going to go over 8. I agree with you. Both games in the series have gone under. People like Chad Kuhl for whatever reason. I don't know enough about the guy. And Strider's great. Strider's phenomenal. I like Strider. I feel like he's got Mike Davis thighs. Ham hocks.
You guys remember when I took under 3.5 hits for DeGrom, and it was like, Peter, what are you doing? Like, that's when I came on and I was like, DeGrom's going to throw a no-hitter against the Rockies today. Rockies can't hit this high velo with big sliders. They can't. It's like the way it got broken up with the no-hitter was in Jose Iglesias infield single. And then a ground ball by Randall Grichuk down the line. Wasn't hit very hard. And then they got 1 run off DeGrom, off a home run that DeGrom just threw right down the middle. And McMahon was just sitting fastball and hit it out. But it was only 3 hits. Like, they can't hit these type of pitchers. And people will say, well, Strider threw 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run in Coors. It was his 3rd longest start of the year. That was back on June 4th. Completely different pitcher now. He's
you had me when you said it.
He was just getting started, and he's a rookie pitching his first start in Coors and pitched pretty well. 1 run in Coors when he wasn't the Spencer Strider that it is now. The only reason I don't like the over is because I think Strider doesn't allow a run. So I think the Braves get it by themselves.
This is the only reason I don't like the over. Ooh. This dude's literally inside my brain right now.
Ooh, I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
Well, the gate was high.
I agree. It is high. I mean, Mike, I just like, I don't know where the offense is coming from the Rockies today. I like CJ Cron's under fantasy. I like all their under fantasies today. I like Strider over K's. This is take everything Braves and forget about it.
Hey, I don't hate it.
It says 54% of the bets, 58% of the money. But everything's different. I'm sure maybe that's on Action Network or something. I don't know if I'm going to let the data scare me off on this one. I think 8's high with Strider. It's been a low-scoring series. I like it. I agree with Peter. I think majority of the runs probably come from the Braves. Maybe a first 5 over for me. See what the number is.
I would go with the full game over if you're going to take it, because I don't think Strider allows a run in the first 5. That's the thing. Like, I think it's like the Rockies bullpen is terrible on top of this. So, like, you have a bad Chad Kuhl against a sinker slider offense and then a bad bullpen to follow him. Like,
and I
think the Braves win 9-1.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be, let's say it's 5-0 after 5, like we're expecting. Both teams are going to put in not their best bullpen pieces, and that's going to lead to more runs later in the game. I just go full game. And also that stat that our guy Capital said, which is a correct stat from what he's seeing, he saw that on Wager Talk. I'm seeing on Action Network. There's actually damn near 70% of the handle on the under. So, like we've always talked about, and don't let the damn data scare you off. Don't let it do it. Every fucking site is different. So you got to use everything with a grain of salt. I know that's your quote. Take everything with a grain of salt. We don't know shit. Pretty much. We got to use our best judgment.
Also, like, where are they getting this data from where the handle is? Like, is it one sports book? Is it they gather from every sports book ever created? Like, what about all the offshore? Like,
it's usually one. It's usually one. Like VSiN was acquired by DraftKings, so it's synced with DraftKings.
Yep.
But I don't know. It could just be, what if it's just the mobile? or I don't know if DraftKings has any locations like FanDuel does. Maybe they do. I'm not aware of them. So I don't know. And I don't think it's worth trying to figure out, but I do think it's at least something you should look at and consider, but not just one site. You should look at multiple.
Exactly. Like it's just another edge. Like, you pile up all the edges and you make your best pick. Like,
yeah.
And if that's all you really can do, like it's,
Bro.
Action Network, it might say 70% of the bets. Then you go to covers.com and it's 48% of the bets. Then it's like, it's just whatever site they're pulling it off of. But if you see like, on covers.com, on Action, on whatever, Vegas Insider, just a bunch of different ones. Like if you see it's all 90% and then the line hasn't moved, then I'm like, okay, that's something. Yeah. And if it's just like clear, like you see it on Twitter too, it's just like a big heavy favorite of the day, then you can make, but it's like, it's tough. Like if it's 58% on one book, is that a public play?
No, because we don't know, because it could be fucking 1% on another book.
Exactly.
Who fucking knows?
Right.
Take everything with a grain of salt. I know Action Network tries to pull data from every book. Who knows if that's true or if it's even accurate? I don't fucking know. We do the best we can with the data we have, and we carry on. And I'm sure the sports books are not in a rush to release all of the data that would help us win more bets. We'll leave it at that.
I got to bounce.
Leave it at that.
Talk some college football, boys.
Peter, yeah, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Hand me some winners. All right.
We got you.
Yep. I don't know shit about college football. Need some winners. Spoon feed me.
Got you, brother.
See you guys later.
Peace. Beast. What's up, DeGen? How we doing?
Struggling a little bit.
Doing?
A little banged up. A little banged up.
Yeah.
2 IPAs, 1 glass of whiskey for my man Tommy Henry. That'll get me. And Tommy
Henry.
He didn't come through, unfortunately. It was a battle between Peter and Jovan. I found myself siding with Peter. I felt like the stakes were getting a little trendy. It was tough to see our boy go down like that.
It is what it is. I guess that's what happens when you throw 91. Every once in a while, you get the absolute shit kicked out of you on the mount. It happens. It happens. So you bet every single MLB game yesterday. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I messed around. My wife went out of town. She's in Indianapolis. She gets back tonight.
Sure.
But I said, I said a tweet. And I was like, if this gets 50 likes, I'll do a side and a total for every game on the board while the wife's out of town. But then I looked at the board and I was like, guys, can I get a pass? And everybody gave me a pass. And I said, I'll do one play in every game minimum. So I'll postpone it next Tuesday. I'll do a side and a total in every game because I got to go to New York for a trip. But yeah, it was good. I mean, the results were good. 11, 7-1, made like 2.3 units.
Wow.
But the Reds. Did you take the Reds yesterday?
No, I took that one ginormous Mets bet, and that's all I took. And that's all my heart could take.
Good. Yeah, I had a little mini nuke on that. And you know what? I don't even think you told us ahead of time that you were doing that.
No, I didn't tell anybody. Sometimes you just have to sneak it and just take care of business on your own. I'm a very superstitious person, for better or for worse. So every time I was sending these fucking big bets, I was telling everybody, and I have people like, and I'm not trying to make it seem like this is cool or I'm trying to brag, but like I have people who hit me up every day who are like down money on the books, like, what the fuck am I taking today? Like people have full-time jobs, so don't have time to look at the card all day. They come to me, they trust me. And I respect the shit out of them for coming to me, and I really appreciate it. And I've been fucking feeding them losers all week, and I feel like shit. And I'm very superstitious, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta fucking fire off a sneak fucking nuke and just take care of business in yourself and not tell people shit. And that's the most successful way to do it. And that paid out for me. Thank God. Thank God.
I agree. It's funny. You'll always find yourself if you're having a college football or not college football, but if you're having a good day, you're like, you hit 4 or 5 bets in a row, and then your friend's like, all right, what's the next bet? That one will be the loser. It's like the one you share. Yeah, the one you share with people will be the loser. It's so weird how that shit works.
Every single time. Yeah. That happens every single time. It's a tale as old as time, DeGen. It's a tale as old as time. And I've seen the movie so many times that like when it happens, when I get a little hot and when my buddies are hitting me up or when my roommates knock on my door, hey buddy, you got to play today? As soon as I hear it, I know I'm fucked. As soon as I hear it. I'm going to start locking my fucking door. All right. We got 30 minutes. We've got college football games today, brother.
Yeah.
We've got college football games today. We need to cut the shit and we need to lock in here for a sec. Couple games I like. Okay. There's a game that starts up here in about 4.5 hours. Akron.
You got the timer on.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
I love it.
I'm taking Akron
Oh God.
minus 17.5. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to pull up this stupid tweet too, but Akron is one of the worst football programs in football. Akron went on a streak 2 years ago where they didn't cover the first 11 games of the season. I remember this like it was yesterday. They are one of the worst teams against the spread in football over the last couple of years. There's a crazy tweet that I'm trying to find right now, and I'm going to find it at some point. I might have to look when you're talking, but Akron never covers ever. So I'm taking the contrarian play here. I don't know why the fuck they're minus 17.5 now, and the number's gotten steamed from 14.5. And guys, we're not going to talk about this game forever. This is St. Francis versus Akron, but I have to get this out. Akron's covering this game. They're winning this game by 20 plus. They're winning this game by 20 plus. Plain and simple.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate here, and we have almost the same brain.
Yep.
But there was last week. I was upset that you faded FAMU because we always say buy bad news, and that was about as bad news that you'll find in the season. But anyway, not saying I played them, but I didn't bet UNC. Well, now I'm gonna just tell you, hold on. I hear what you're saying, but who the fuck is St. Francis?
Well, I know in basketball they're in the neck. I don't know what the fuck they're in here now. They went 5-6 last year. I know that. That's literally all I know about this team. They're terrible. They're terrible. They have to be terrible.
So I think that too. And my first thought would be Akron by 17.5 is too low. St.
Yes, but DeGen, Akron is one of the worst D1 football programs in the country.
Fair. Very fair.
In the country. DeGen, let me pull up their fucking record over the last couple of years.
No, I believe you. I don't think we should spend too much of our 30 minutes on St. Francis and Akron. I just have to
say, should not.
That stat is intriguing to me, and it fires me up as a contrarian. But then I see the opponent. I just wish it was an actual team. I don't know who the fuck this is. I just have no interest in getting involved personally.
And that is extremely fair. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. This game's disgusting. Last year, Akron was 2-10. In 2020, they were 1-5 before the season ended. In 2019, not that this matters, they went 0-12, brother. 0-12. That's the season where they didn't cover at all. They're one of the worst teams ever. And let me leave you with this stat. Leave you with this stat. We'll move on because we're talking about Akron too long. They are 0-7 ATS in their last 7 openers. That's the longest active week one spread losing streak of any FBS team. Does that tickle your fancy a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Because it's St. Francis. I mean, honestly, I was scrolling through the board. I saw Long Island University is playing on ESPN3. This game's on ESPN3. I can't believe Long Island University has a fucking football team. So
I had no idea they did.
Yeah. So look, I mean, Hofstra, I get it. Even UCF, my Knights are playing against South Carolina State. Even if it's like a school you never heard of, but it's a state, that's fine. St. Francis, absolutely no interest in getting involved. None.
Fair. Let's move on. I'm cool with that. All right. Well, I'll lean Akron there, and you lean San Francis. That's totally fine.
No.
Okay.
I don't
all right.
I'm just pulling for you.
Fuck that game. Take that game, crumble it up, fucking throw that shit out. Let's move on to a real game.
Okay.
Let's move on to a real game. West Virginia Pitt.
Yeah.
West Virginia Pitt. This is a good one. I like Pitt here. I like the under. Those are my initial leans. Although I have heard more Pitt talk than I expected this week. I'll be honest with you. We've heard the fucking quarterbacks chirping back and forth between each other. It's been a weird week. I don't know if I've ever heard a quarterback come out and say "fuck the other team" in a rally or whatever the hell that was. And I don't know how well that's going to play out. I'll be honest with you. But does that really matter? Probably not. But I don't think it helps Pitt. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it helps. But I like Pitt here, laying the points, -7.5. This line opened up at 6.5. They're home. I'm not very high on West Virginia this season. And I think I'm going to lay the points here with the better team at home. I think Pitt might run it back. I know they don't have Kenny Pickett. I don't give a shit. I think they might run it back and win the ACC. I really do. Yeah.
On that note, I actually do think I'm buying low on a Clemson team this year that I think has a chip on their shoulder. Having a lot of talk about them. I think DJ Ukulele, whatever, might be bad, but I do like that they have that 5-star recruit, the guy from Texas, kind of back there to maybe spice things up. But anyways, on this game, I'm with you. 2 for 2. I like the under. I like Pitt. It's really hard week ones in anything when you have no sample size or previous game to go off of. It's really hard to get too involved. So I just go off of kind of narratives, and I agree. I've heard some Pitt talk. I have heard West Virginia talk. But here's the thing. I like that there's a little bit more negative news for Pitt losing Kenny Pickett, losing, I think his name's Jordan Addison, his top receiver. I think he was the Bletnikoff winner last year. I think he went to USC. And I also think Pitt lost our offensive coordinator. Now, both teams gained quarterbacks, but between Slavis and JT Daniels being at West Virginia, I think more people would lean towards favoring that guy since he's from an SEC school. I think people are going to take West Virginia tonight with the points, and they're going to be especially tempted to take that 7.5. That hook is always tempting when you're going with an underdog. I like Pitt here. I do like the line move. I hate getting the worst of the number when it's around a touchdown. So I don't necessarily advise or condone buying points. I know in the long run there's been studies and it doesn't really do anything for you, but I really pick my spots, and more often than not, it helps me out. I might buy this and to get it back at 6.5. I think it's worth the 10, 15 cent juice in my opinion. But I think Pitt, if I had to run a model in this game, I think Pitt wins 28-13. I like the under, honestly, every which way. A few people have said first quarter, first half. Yeah, everybody's going to want to be betting the over. Everybody's got the itch. What's the best scratch for the public? Betting an over, rooting for points. 7 p.m. on ESPN. It's Thursday. People are jonesing. They're going to want touchdowns. I think it's going to be a little sloppy, a little ugly. So, yeah, I'm on Pitt and I'm on the under.
Yeah, and I thought it was weird seeing the total move down here damn near 3 points.
Yeah, from 54.
With two of the most experienced quarterbacks in all of college football, and this total's moving down. You'd think the public would be like, damn, these guys might be transfers, but these guys are like fucking 5th and 6th years, and they're not going to have any, trouble acclimating. They'll be ready, and these offenses will be, ready to attack, and they're good offenses. Their defenses are meh, right? I think it's extremely telling that line is moving down. I think I might be all over this under, brother. I don't know if I can't not play it. I'll be honest with you. I think the more that I talk that out and look at it, and with your points, which when you said, my brain went ding, ding, ding. When you said, oh, it's the first real game of the week, and people were absolutely starving for an over, absolutely starving for a college football over, absolutely starving for points. We haven't seen a college football game since Saturday, and honestly, all those games fucking blew. This might be the first real game of the season. People are going to be all over the over. No pun intended. Give me the under. Absolutely love it.
I also like Pat Narduzzi, Pitt's head coach.
Same. He's a great coach.
He's a great coach. And I think you want to bet on good coaches. Honestly, that was one of the reasons I didn't take Northwestern, but I didn't take Nebraska. I was leaning Nebraska, but I said at the end of the day, I was like, when you have a full season to prepare, you want to back, I think, the better head coach, or at least respect a head coach. And I just told myself, I was like, Pat Fitzgerald, the Northwestern head coach, I was like, that's a lot of 14 points, the first game of the season. I don't want to go against them for that reason. So, yeah, I got no problem going Pitt here every which way.
Do you have any action in Central Michigan, Oklahoma State, or should we skip over that?
I could be real quick with it. I'll tell you, I was leaning Central Michigan with this number, 21.5. I was leaning all the way up until this morning. I just started looking at Central Michigan a little bit more. One of my buddies turned me on to it. He said, I don't know if this is enough points for Oklahoma State, but I saw they opened 19.5. They got up to like 22. And then I started looking at Central Michigan. They weren't terrible last year. They were actually pretty good. They were 8-4 in the regular season, and they won their bowl game. They're 9-4. So then I started to flip. I started to think, well, you know what? I mean, Oklahoma State, they did lose Jim Knowles, their deep coordinator. And then I started seeing more people on Central Michigan when I paid attention today. And then I saw Big Cat, Barstool Big Cat, who is was such a mush. Say he locked in Central Michigan. So I'm very glad I took a look before placing this bet. I haven't made anything official yet, but I'm off. I'm off. I got no lean on the total either, but I think it is the right number. I think it's a lot of respect for Oklahoma State. So I would lean maybe Cowboys now at this point.
Literally, if I could say what my thoughts on this game, I would have said exactly word for word what you just said. So we will carry on.
Cool.
All the money is coming in on Central Michigan. They're a public dog. Public dogs bite, especially in football. They bite hard.
Yep.
And that line has actually moved a point towards Oklahoma State with all the money coming in on C-Mitch.
Right.
And Big Cat, who is a content genius and the GOAT. He is a mush.
Yeah, he is.
Love the guy. We carry on. What about Ball State, Tennessee?
Yeah, I do have a play in this game. So, excuse me, a couple teams that I'm on. I've got a bunch of season win total bets. Tennessee over is going to be one of them. I really like Tennessee. They set a school record for points last year. I like Hendon Hooker. They were second in the SEC in scoring offense, I think right behind Alabama. I think they're going to be a problem. I'm not necessarily saying go out there and take them to win the SEC to 40-1, whatever it is. But I started thinking too, okay, what would the average person think? Because I try to be on the side of fading the public. And I think that even though I would say the majority of people do like Tennessee as well in the season, I don't think they're necessarily rushing to bet Tennessee to win by 37 points tonight, especially against Ball State, because Ball State is not a trash can. It's not a St. Francis. It's not an Akron. Ball State's like it carries, what are they in the MAC or something like that?
Yep.
They carry a little bit of weight. So I think if anybody,
sure.
I think your average bettor would probably lean Ball State here. So I'm comfortable laying it with Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to go nuts. Ball State, I doubt they've been in a stadium or an atmosphere like this. Tennessee's got the fans back. That stadium is fucking massive. Ball State's, all the players are probably going to go deaf tonight. So yeah, I'm going to lay it with Tennessee.
I also love Tennessee. I also love Hendon Hooker. Yep. I am a huge Hendon Hooker guy. I don't know if you knew, but he actually transferred from Virginia Tech.
I did. You're a Virginia Tech guy.
Yeah. And I will hate Justin Fuente forever for that because that guy's a fucking bum.
Yep.
And we brought him in to be our coach and to change the way our football program ran. We used to be defense first, right? And then we had Vic come, got a bunch of excitement. And we're like, shit, Beamer's fucking old as shit. Let's bring in an offensive guru. Literally was called a QB guru. That was his name, which I still don't understand because the only good QB who went to the league really that played out that he coached was Paxton Lynch. And that guy reeked. He sucked. And Fuente, we had a QB battle. I know, it's disgusting. We had a QB battle between Braxton Burmeister. I don't know if you know that guy. And Hendon Hooker last year. And before the season, Fuente went with Braxton Burmeister, who blows. And Hendon Hooker transferred. This might have been 2 years ago. And Hendon Hooker transferred to Tennessee. And last year was debatably the best quarterback in the country, definitely top 5. Got Heisman votes. And he's out for blood this year. I actually like Tennessee, not to win the SEC, but to win the SEC East over Georgia. If some magic can happen there with Georgia coming off of a national championship, maybe a little comfortable, maybe a little fat bellied. And I think Tennessee's got the juice. We're going to need a Georgia L or two that we might not expect for that to happen. But I don't really know if Tennessee's going to lose a game this year besides that Alabama game. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Let me give you a Ball State stat here. Ball State is 18-6 against the spread versus Power 5 teams since 2006. Ball State, DeGen, is one of those teams in football that people just love betting on. They're they're just a public MAC team that everyone likes. And it's a name that everyone knows, Ball State. What a name, by the way, for a fucking school. That's awesome, especially for sports. You kidding me? Everyone's going to be betting Ball State today against Tennessee because everyone's seen Tennessee suck for the last 15 years and might not realize that team was damn good last season. And they have everyone back. And they're going to be an issue this year. I actually had them. I picked them to be in my college football playoff. They're like my one, whatever you want to call it, underdog sleeper pick. Yeah, they're my one long shot to get in the college football playoff.
I like it.
Some serious fucking magic, but Hendon Hooker is actually a fucking beast.
He's good. Also, Naptown and NDJ or Naptown DJ, with someone in the comments said that Ball State did play at Penn State last year, so I guess they do have the atmosphere at least under their belts. But
and they have a very old quarterback, John Paddock, who our guy just talked about in chat, who has been around the block. But Jay Billions is right. this team is going to get absolutely fucking torched. Do I think Ball State might score a little bit? And do they have a seasoned QB, a redshirt senior? For sure. They might put up a point or two. But I'll tell you right now, Tennessee's going to score every drive, every single drive.
You know what's interesting? The total's moving down. I think it was 68 down to 66.5. But I got to tell you, a week 1 opener of 68 points with Ball State involved, that's fucking high. So I'm not going against the line move. What up, dude? Not going against the line move and getting cute with the total. I'm just going to set it and forget it late with Tennessee. Also, Krabs, on the team to make a play. I love taking long shots in some way, shape, or form with everything. I love hearing Tennessee as that play because all I've heard all off season is Utah and NC State, and I'm fading both of those teams.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should, brother. NC State, who I've been hearing getting absolutely slurped for the past couple of months as an ACC guy myself. That team is pretty good, and the ACC blows. So let's not act like they don't have a decent look and a decent path. But I'm out on this. I mean, it's fucking NC State, guys. We're acting like Russell Wilson's back there again taking snaps. I don't understand it.
And I had them. It was my long shot last year to win the ACC. I took a stab at NC State. But this year, completely opposite. And I have 2 examples that I always use. When teams overachieve and overperform, the following year when they have expectations, they usually don't meet them. North Carolina and Iowa State last year are perfect examples. They both returned their head coaches. They both returned their starting quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Sam Howell. Go look how they did 2 years ago. Go look how they did last year when they had expectations and everybody was slurping them. People were taking Iowa State to make the playoffs. It's 17 starters back for NC State. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's uncomfortable, but I got to fade it just based off of the expectations.
Couldn't agree more. Milkman, welcome to the show.
Yeah, how we doing? Here we're talking a little Ball State.
Talking a little Ball State. You got a take in this one?
I don't know why this is what I went to, but I'm kind of eyeing a little PP square in this game.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect square.
Yeah.
Dog.
Looking at Ball State quarterback John Paddock. I'm taking his under -0.5 rushing yards.
Love it.
Disgusting square, but I mean he's a pocket passer, right? He's a pocket passer, and he's going against the Tennessee defense and the Tennessee defensive line that finished with however many sacks last year. How many tackles for losses against an O-line that's been rotating guys year in, year out. They're not very good. They're young. And against Power 5 teams, Ball State really doesn't do anything. I mean, we're talking game script too. He's not going to be running because they're going to be down 40. He's going to have nowhere to go because, I mean, they got what's his name? Byron Young, I think it is, off the edge. They've got a couple linebackers that are simply going to beat him to the spot anywhere he wants to go. So I don't see him getting a yard. He's never finished a game at the college level with positive passing yards, which I know makes you want to fade it, but I don't see
rushing yards. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. I don't.
That would have been something if it was passing yards.
Yeah, if it was passing yards, then that would have been really something. But I don't see how he doesn't get sacked quite a few times today, and even in garbage time when it's out of hand, whether he's in the game or not, I don't see how he's going to be out there running the slightest bit.
Right. So our guy Nick is asking, do sacks count, or does it have to be a running play? Sacks do count, right?
Yeah, sacks count.
Okay. I tried to get tricky with this play, Jovan. Remember on Saturday, I took that under -5 rushing yards for the UTEP quarterback. Now, it didn't work. But I'll tell you right now, nobody in their fucking right mind is taking an under negative rushing yard prop. And that's so crazy and disgusting that it just might work. I fucking love it. If Tennessee's, passing attack is going to be as much of an issue as you just said, good fucking luck, Ball Sack State. They're really going to be Ball Sack State tonight. Plain and simple.
I mean, the difference, we're talking about a much bigger mismatch in the trenches than North Texas UTEP. So, I mean, that's a much bigger part of it. And I think regardless, he's going to get sacked a couple times. So even if he runs for 10, 15 yards, I still don't think he's going to get that with the amount of times he's going to be pressured and sacked today.
Agreed. Wow, I'm really pissed. I'm looking at the board, and I just saw that VT is only -6.5 now against Old Dominion tomorrow. We're so fucked. We're going to lose that game outright. I'm not even kidding.
I got to tell you, I'm
Let's
seeing a lot of ODU tickets, though.
Yeah, I'm seeing more money on ODU. But I'll tell you right now, DeGen, they beat us before and they'll do it again. And this is their Super Bowl, and our team blows. We have a new coach. We have a new system. Our best wide receiver is not playing. Our quarterback who's starting is making his first career start. He transferred from Marshall. He's not very good. He throws a lot of picks. And this ODU team is returning pretty much everybody, and they're actually good at football. They were actually a very fucking good team last year, especially in the second half. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, then we should take Tech because that's a contrarian look. I don't know if you could say that because it's VT versus a school that 90% of people have never even heard of. And you don't even know what that school is unless you live in Virginia, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's maybe those just cancel out, and maybe it's just a no bet, and maybe I should just enjoy the root for Tech. But I'll tell you right now, I've been telling people for the last 2 weeks, we're not covering that 8.5. Now it's at 6.5. I'm like, fuck, I should have already locked this one in, but I was a little preoccupied last night with the bet, so I wasn't really locking in any college football plays for Friday at that point.
Yeah.
But I really just don't think we're covering that game. I've seen this movie before, VT. We are a clown football school of lates, and we always underperform and choke and find ways to just disappoint. Plain and simple, I've been through it. I went to school there. It is what it is. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong in this case, and I hope I'm wrong. And if I end up betting ODU, I'll eat my words. If we fucking roll them by 20, win-win. That's a win-win for me. Sure. But ODU is disgusting. This game's at ODU. They're returning their whole team. This is the most important game of the season for them. And I'm worried with our offense, how we're going to perform in our first game with all our new coaches, especially with a roster that just sucks. Plain and simple.
All right.
To say it.
Let's
talk about.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes left, right?
Yeah, we got to talk about the game of the night.
Yeah.
And I keep going back and forth on this one, man. Penn State, Purdue. Now Purdue is laying that fake sharp line here at +3.5, which I hate. DeGen, I'm with you, man. I think +3.5 and +7.5 are kind of fraudulent, and so is +10.5. I feel like at times, and +10. I feel like those are honestly bait lines, but those pay out at times.
Sure.
I was expecting everyone to be on Penn State here. I'll be honest with you, but I've seen so many Purdue tickets. I'm shocked. I don't even know what the fuck I want to do. I really don't. I mean, some more old ass fucking quarterbacks here. I want to hear what you guys have to say in this game because I keep flipping back and forth and I don't really have a side at this point.
Jovan, you want me to go or do you want to start?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So yeah, look, I want to make something very clear. I just went over this and I value the head coaching position. I do not think James Franklin's a good coach.
Wow.
Now on that note, nobody likes James Franklin. So bettors don't like James Franklin. I wanted to like him. I just don't think I do. I think maybe he's a decent motivator, but he's not a good actual game manager. I like Purdue. I like Aiden O'Connell. The narrative going into this game is that people also like Purdue as their sneaky money line pick, and nobody's respecting Penn State, and they shouldn't. But James Franklin's still a pretty good recruiter. Penn State still has a lot of talent. I don't know much about their quarterback. I'm not going to act like I'm a Penn State expert. Again, I'm just going off of narratives. But if you go look at Purdue, the way they ended the season last year, it is really impressive. They beat Michigan State when Michigan State was ranked 3rd. They went to Ohio State. They got their ass kicked, but they've put up 31 points. They finished the season winning 4 out of the last 5 games, and they beat Tennessee in a bowl game. So if you just go off of the most recent impression, right? Recency bias, people are going to be more high on the home dog in this situation, higher. And then to back that up, I haven't seen a soul on Penn State. I haven't. All I've seen are Purdue tickets. So I'm left with no choice. I don't want to do it, but I got to take Penn State.
Oh,
I have to.
Jesus Christ. Let me say this real quick before Jovan digs in, Kyle Bradish digs in. James Franklin is one of the most profitable coaches, ATS, in all of college football. And this is from a couple years ago, but this is from 2 years ago. So I'm sure it hasn't changed, a ton since then. But James Franklin, 59, 41, and 4, 60% ATS. He's one of the most, and I remember because I have a couple of buddies who went to Penn State, and they'd always tell me just blindly bet us because all we do is fucking cover. James Franklin's a covering machine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's making me think maybe we take Purdue here. And I love taking a worse team at home, getting points. But I literally have not seen a single Penn State ticket.
Do you know how Penn State ended the season last year? They lost 6 out of their last 8 games, only beating Rutgers and Maryland. You think anybody's getting fired up to bet this Penn State team tonight in prime time against Aiden?
And you were saying Purdue ended the season on fire, right?
They beat Tennessee in a bowl game.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that was a great game.
Recency bias. Everyone's gonna be like Purdue. Purdue's back. Penn State sucks. Look how they ended the season last year. Well, shit. Penn State might be here to play.
You know what I do like? And there's 2 situations going into this weekend that I also think people have to remember. Now, I can eat my words if both of these home dogs cash, but Appalachian State against UNC and Purdue at home, these are huge games. Huge games. But you got to remember, when it's a huge game, there's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. You know who doesn't have the pressure? The road team. UNC is already getting shit for not covering FAMU. Penn State, who was expecting Penn State to do anything this year? They can come in, they can play loose. The home team's having the pep rallies. And you know how I know this? Because I've been a Notre Dame fan, and I get so fucking fired up every time we get a big team coming in. It's the big game. It's the most expensive ticket of what's already an expensive ticket, and we get our ass kicked. So I'm just saying, it's a lot of pressure for the home team, so it doesn't necessarily make me like that side right off the bat. Just my thoughts.
100%. Hey, Ty France just hit a nuke, by the way, Jovan. He's back.
He's back.
Ty France is back.
Two tanks in Detroit in that park.
Sure. Yeah, that's no simple task.
Yeah.
What do you got, Jovan, in this game? We got about 2 minutes. Give us your spiel. Give us your play. I know you got one.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm starting to really like Penn State here. Everybody being on Purdue helps, absolutely, but we're talking about, yes, a Penn State team that finished the season pretty abysmally. Sean Clifford being hurt was a part of that process, but just talking about like what we're going to see here, right? Their whole emphasis is run the damn ball now. That's what they're going to do. And they have Nick Singleton coming in, who's going to be absolutely dynamic for that offense. And with that added element, I don't think teams are just going to be able to bull rush Sean Clifford like they've been doing, which is why he's been so average, so bad, whatever you want to call him. They blitz 7 and he can't make throws under pressure. That's the bottom line. And with the run game like that, now as an element to the offense and the emphasis on it, I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. So I think it's just a new balance that you're bringing to the Penn State offense that I think is going to work out really well. And I really don't trust Purdue. I mean, Purdue is also the bottom rush defense in the Big Ten last year. So I don't think they're going to be able to do much today. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I'd roll with Penn State here.
Do you see Larry Beeman's comment, by the way? That's good.
I actually just found that tweet because I was looking at it too. Let me read it. It was one of those stupid Moneyball meme things. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Billy, this is Purdue. They're one of the most underrated teams in college football. Their only defect is that no one takes them seriously because they're Purdue football. We can get them at 3.5-point home dogs tomorrow night. First of all, Purdue's fucked. Second of all, who the fuck are they paying to write some stupid shit like that? What knowledge are we gaining from reading that tweet besides just getting dumber? Yeah. I don't understand. But I guess we got to play the fucking Nittany Lions, which honestly might not be a bad look because nobody fucking likes Penn State in general. And I've yet to see a ticket on them. I haven't. Straight up. I haven't seen it. I've only seen Purdue getting slopped.
Yeah.
And we do have to shut this down and pass it off to the GOAT, Trent, who had a tough beat.
Do we have time for one more quick one?
If you give us a 30-second spiel, go ahead. Let's get it.
Sneak angle with New Mexico State against Minnesota. New Mexico State is Jerry Kill. He used to coach Minnesota. He tried to help the transition when P.J. Fleck came into Minnesota, and P.J. Fleck ignored him. So Jerry Kill hates his fucking guts. Jerry Kill is the coach at New Mexico State. They're 36-point dogs against Minnesota. I think that is a sneak angle to play a big dog.
Holy smokes.
I wanted to put that under, but it went down a field goal, I think.
It's going down more than a field goal.
Yeah.
More than a field goal. I
I
do
was
like
like-
that under as well.
Yeah, the last day.
I just don't like those offenses at all. And I don't even care that everyone's betting the under. It's moving accordingly.
Yeah.
Wow, a little sneak revenge angle there. A little spite bet, if you will. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If you guys are trying to feel something and take a team plus 35 and just hold on, that might be your play. And I fucking love doing that. I'm not even joking. I literally love betting on shitty teams like that. And I'm mad at myself for taking UNC last week, although I thought it was the best play ever. Jovan, we both thought it was genius.
Yep.
We got fucked. Whatever. Gentlemen, I appreciate you coming on. Like my guy Mush said in chat, for me, it is tequila time. So I'm going to go hit the pool. I wish you guys the best. Let me know if you send any college football plays today. DeGen, I'll check your action. But, Jovan, let me know if you actually fire off anything. Okay, brother?
Sure.
Yep. I'll tweet him later.
I appreciate it, gents. Let's have a fucking day. Yes, I'm wearing sunscreen. I'm white as shit. I can't get burnt. I'm already red enough as it is.
You're red.
We'll be seeing. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets.
Let's go
fucking
Mets.
hate the Mets. Fucking hate the Mets. But I definitely hate them a little bit less after last night. Shout out DeGrom, the best pitcher in baseball. Shout out Brandon Nimmo, the catch of the fucking year. I love you, Brandon Nimmo. If you're listening to this, which you're not, I fucking love you. Guys, let's have a fucking day. Why not us? Why not us? Football's back.